What's up, everybody? How are we doing today? For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Matt. I am paranormal consultant. And for those who probably saw me a little bit earlier, welcome back. The chaos continues. What I mean, if you didn't catch it, is Nando from Portable Paranormal, my brother, had me on his show. And those of you who saw it, I apologize. But anyway, so tonight we're going to have some fun. We're going to continue this Paranormal 101 series. I wanted to do something a little bit different tonight. And as you guys know, different is me. So you knew what you're getting into. But tonight we're going to talk about some things that I personally have had some questions about. And I needed to call in some reinforcements. So I invited some family from across the pond. And we'll get into it. Because I know, and I'm going to say this now, live, because I know somebody backstage will correct me. I know there's a difference between the UK, Scotland, and Ireland. I know this, but it's just easier to say that. Okay, so I'm going to just say that. But anyway, I see the one laughing. She knows. So yeah, It's all good. We all love each other. We all care about each other. So we're just bring them on, and then everyone just welcome all. Let's have a great time. We're going to have some fun. So let's start off with somebody who I haven't seen on the show for a good amount of time. And I feel bad because he's a great guy. So we've met him a long, long time ago. It's been almost about 2 years. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Paraverse welcome to my brother, Stephen Dobbs. There he is. What's up, brother?
Hello. It's been 2 years.
It really has. It was the Paracrew, the start of the Paracrew, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not think it was that far.
It goes by quick, doesn't it? It goes by very quickly. All right, so this next guy you've seen in a couple of other shows, including GGH Live, and a couple other times he's popped in. He's helped the show out. You know him. He doesn't need an introduction. It's the one and only Nando. What's up, brother?
Hello. How's everyone doing?
So, gentlemen, we are joined by two lovely ladies tonight, and honestly, they have a lot of experience. They have a lot of knowledge, and it wouldn't be a show about the UK, Scotland, or Ireland without them. So, let's start off with the one. She's also a part of Global Ghost Hunt from Emerald Hour Paranormal. Good morning. There's English. Jenny Sullivan. See, I don't script this.
Gran, what about you? Good morning. Good afternoon, should I say? Good afternoon.
Whatever it is, wherever you're at. If you're starting your day off with this show, I'm sorry. Go back to bed and try it again. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And guys, I think we know this woman, this lovely lady. She is a big supporter in the paranormal field. I've known her since pretty much I started, and I think we all have. She is literally everywhere. This woman is as bad as Raymond. There is not a podcast she does not support, share, or like. And I think we know who it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Liz. Hi, Liz.
Hey,
So let's start off before we get into the subject tonight. Liz, you have a new paranormal team, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
What was that?
I said you started your own paranormal team officially, correct? Recently?
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of it?
The Family Paranormal.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. You know, we get some of these amazing names.
So is it a family based? Is it like a family group?
Yeah, it usually is,
Liz investigates with her awesome daughter, Eunice, and her grandson, and a couple others, correct? If I'm not mistaken, right, Liz? And Liz is amazing. Liz, and your backyard is haunted too.
Yeah.
So Liz doesn't even need to go far. She can just turn her chair right at the back door and just watch. Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, first of all, guys, thank you so much for taking time out. I know it's midnight your time. I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. So thank you, first of all.
Thank you.
So as always, let's start off with our awesome audience. So I see Donna's in the audience tonight.
Hi,
Hello,
Donna.
Donna.
That's
Say-
my Donna. That's my
Donna.
Donna.
Saying hello to Jenny and Liz. Yes, I'm here to support my peeps. Big hearts, big hearts. And the Race Prince is here. Anthony from Texas Wraith Hunters.
Hey,
and Race
Anthony.
World Podcast. Uh-oh. We all know who that is. Big Rob from the Patrol.
Oh, wow.
Rob was actually invited on as well, but as you can see, he's a little preoccupied. That's all right, Rob. Appreciate you stopping in. From American Liz. Nice. And actually someone from my neck of the woods, Jason. He's actually from Pennsylvania as well. What's up, Jason? How you doing, brother? So we brought the gentleman on first. So ladies, the first question goes to you. And this is something that we kind of spoke backstage about a little bit. One thing I've always wondered about, here in the States, we don't have as deep of a history as you folks have across the way. And here we try to relate to spirits. Like you get we have the reenactments with the Civil War and pretty much recent history. We can relate somewhat fairly well with. Liz, we'll start with you. How do you guys relate to your spirits? Because they're obviously going to be from a time period that's really far back.
Aye, that is aye. Well, Donna, she is part of the team as well. She does it through the video,
Yeah.
She comes on through the video and she takes amazing photos. I mean, the photos that she's took is unbelievable. Really is really good. If there's some things maybe we can't catch, maybe we don't see, Donna can see it. She takes, as I say, she takes the photos. But in saying that, as recently now, I have seen full apparitions. How I'm seeing them, I don't know. I've seen well, we were in the woods and I seen a lady. She was coming towards me, like she was like up a hill, but she was coming towards me. And then, but Tyler, his torch was all gone, so I had to go round to Tyler. And then when I went back, she went away hiding or something, and she had long black hair and this white thing on. That was in the woods, but I don't know if it's the same. Well, I don't know if it's the same one, but I seen one in the psychiatric hospital with me and Tracy and Charles. That's my son, right enough. And actually, he fell out the window, at the psychiatric hospital. I know it was funny. I know we shouldn't have laughed right enough, but I couldn't help it.
As
But
long as
anyway, but and then they went to a water thing. So I just and this has been my eye. This isn't with the camera or anything. And I turned around and I looked. There was a lady. I think I think she was about 20 or something, but she was absolutely beautiful. She was beautiful. Long black hair, long white thing on. And I looked and I says to Tracy, put your live over there, at the side, because I see this lady. But she went away behind the tree or she disappeared or something. So they couldn't see her. I've seen that. I've seen, I've yet to see any things at the Greyfriars. I've not seen anything at Greyfriars yet. Because we were there during the day, right enough. I've been there twice, but we were there during the day. It is a fascinating place, right enough. But I did say to you, because there's caves in it, and I wanted to go up to the caves, but she was wanting to get home, so I says, right, we'll leave it now. And then the ghost tours was going on at that time as well, so. But that'd be a fascinating place to go to at night. I would think so.
Okay. Stephen, what were you saying, brother? Stephen, you were saying something?
I was saying, Greyfriars, Bobby. Greyfriars, the churchyard.
Aye.
Greyfriars is listed as one of the most haunted cemeteries in the world.
No
Not
kidding.
in Scotland, not in the UK, not in Europe, in the world. So
Wow.
I'm
Right.
right if you. I mean,
And
I'm
and our
planning on being in Edinburgh, and I'm planning on basically see if I can spend the night there.
and you know what's funny
Yeah,
is
that'd be good fun.
our
That'd be good
our
fun.
our brother Brian John Laverty. I love you, brother, but he doesn't like cemeteries. Well, I know one he needs to go to then. All right. So Jenny, what about you? How do you relate to these spirits that are, let's just say, older?
Okay, so my obviously my location here in Drogheda is the Drogheda Museum Millmount. Always at it. We're there tomorrow night again, and it's about 3,000 years old. At 3,000, I mean, I do look great, but like really, I know. But it's like 3,000 years old, and such as 1649 and the 11th of September is where Oliver Cromwell had come over and attacked Drogheda, Tipperary, Wexford, and so on. And every time we go, we do get the same people, but we were beginning to get new people because we're doing this about 7 years. And we think, right, we have the same bunch of people here. We know, hi, it's just us again, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Then you get someone new coming through and we're like, who? Emma? Who's Emma? And then there's a malevolent male that's with her. Oh my God, one night we were there, just the three of us, myself, Lou, and Alan. And Alan was doing Lou did the Estes method first, and then Alan did the Estes method. And Lou was nice and calm, and questions are being answered and so on. And then Alan did it. So he was coming out with a woman's name, Emma. And we're like, Emma? Okay, nice to meet you, Emma. Is there anything we can do? Who are you? How are you part of this building? And so on. But you'd have a man coming in, and Alan would say, leave. Oh, go, or something like that. And I'm asking questions. Do you want us to leave? Do you want Emma to leave? And so on. But we weren't getting answers to that. And then it kept going on, but it was getting very malevolent. And then Alan was telling us that Alan was saying, I have to go. So we were thinking then, is it Emma that has to go? And so on. And it just was getting very corresponding with our questions. And then all of a sudden, I looked at Louise and Louise looked at me, like with this vibration, this crazy vibration that was in the building. Like it was enough to make us stop. And I was there, Steve. Hi, Steve. And it was enough that I was sitting on the ground, and it was enough that if I had to jump off the ground, back pain? What back pain? What crooked knee? And the physiotherapist say, Jennifer, you're lying. Come on an investigation, and you'll see how that cured your back. But the vibration was in the building, and we had no idea where it came from. We tried to reenact it. And then all of a sudden now, myself and Alan and Louise were there last week. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No responses. Me and Alan had to stay, and Louise had to go home. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe we got one EVP saying, yeah. Rest of it was absolutely nothing. And then Alan would leave his recorder in overnight and to see if anything's picked up the next day, nothing. So now the full team is there tomorrow night to find out what is going on and what happened.
And I want to let everybody know watching, if you want to see more of this location, I'm telling you, it is definitely worth it. Go to Global Ghost Hunt. Jenny and her team did an amazing job at this location. And we were even catching stuff. Nando, you were backstage with Brian and myself.
Yeah.
We were seeing stuff all night long, besides the camera angles. But
I think one of the best bit of that we caught was the fact that Jenny and her team had 2 cameras set up, and at one stage all the team were downstairs, or was it they were upstairs? But for some reason, something had switched off their camera, and then the actual tripod that the camera was sitting on was turned. And there was no one in the room, so that was quite some cool evidence there.
Hate to interrupt. There is Mr. Fedora Scott Morton. Scott, hope you're doing well, brother. And message me. I want to make sure Steph's all right. Big prayers tonight, guys, if you can, for Steph. Just leave it at that. She had to go to the hospital. But big prayers for Steph. But yeah, Nando, that was funny. That we were trying to get Jenny's attention all night long. I think her and Lou were looking at the screen, and we're flashing
Louise
cameras
was
off, cameras off.
Lou's face was actually in the screen, and we had it in big bold writing, and Lou still didn't notice the writing. She turned away and moved.
My favorite though was the shadow we caught. The shadow that we caught, that was the best.
I know that area. That's the area where there's a lovely man in that area. I think he's lovely. I think he's really nice. I heard his voice where he was very posh and he'd say good evening. So now every time I go in, I always say hi to him. And so tomorrow night the whole team is there, and we're going to find out what's happening. Why is it quiet? Why? It's par for the parcel. You will get quiet nights, but this is different. Even the feeling is different.
See,
it's really changed.
Guys,
you can get some things and then you can't get anything. That's what happens in most of the things. It's happened to me as well. But
Same
see
here.
the castle that I went. Sorry, Matt. See the castle I went to. We went to that castle, the Crookston Castle. That's a medieval castle. Now that is brilliant. We're going back again in August. We're actually going back again in August, Jen. Now I managed to put one of them on the TV through the YouTube, and we couldn't see it on the phone, but this thing came across like that, just a wee slight, it's like a shadow thing, and it came across and it went out and then it went right across the camera, and that was at the castle. That was good.
I love when they do that.
And you don't expect it. I know myself and Louise were having a wee drive around the place, looking at going to a beautiful grave, and I think they called the round tower. It's the monks where it's beautiful, and so we went to another place, and it was a castle that's 10 minutes away from me. How did I not know? Of all my years, how did I not know there was a castle 10 minutes away from me? We went into it. We went into it about 10 o'clock at night. The lady gave us the key and let us in. It was all above board. And it didn't fail. Let me tell you, it did not fail. So we said, okay, let's have a wee talk with this woman, and can we kind of go back? And even places like Lep Castle, built in 1500s, and that's phenomenal. That place blows our mind.
That one's on top of my list. That is on top.
That will not disappoint you. That won't disappoint.
All right, so moving on. Nando, my brother, how does Portal to the Paranormal, how do you guys relate to these elder spirits?
Well, for us, I think one of the most important things is understanding the location that you're going into. Sort of know the era that it was built for, and things like that. So just without getting, because we don't like to get too much history, but we could try and get a feel of like kind of things that it was built for, the purpose of it, and try and relate. So if we know it's like we've done Groundlings Theatre and we returned there on Saturday, we know that the bottom part of the theatre was actually, before it was a theatre, it was a school for underprivileged children. So we try and use that. So we think, okay, so that sort of time, what kind of things would they have had? What would they have known? So like chalkboards, something that they can relate to, wooden toys, so just trying to make them feel at ease. And then, with the older spirits is, maybe a cheeky whiskey, something that they would have known, that they would have tone to, brandy, sometimes just having those little bottles and then presenting it to them. A prime example was we did an investigation with Brian when he did the UK tour, and I know Brian's not big on the graves, but we went to the war graves. We took him to some war graves, and I kid you not, Brian was smoking, and the spirit box come out going, "Can I have a fag or a cigarette?" Something along those lines. So Brian, not intentionally trying to relate, it relates. So I think just understanding your surroundings and get a feel of what you're walking into will help you relate to what spirits could be there still. So that's what we try and do to relate to them. And I think the other thing is just being respectful all the time. I think that's the top one on the basic to-do list. Just be respectful of the location and, treat it like you would want your own location to be treated.
Okay. Absolutely. If somebody comes into your home. I just want to show you, I have my equipment back here. This is part of my equipment.
See, I don't. Everybody says sign language is the universal language. No.
We have the little wee drum there. Do you want a wee drum? You know.
You can.
See, we say we're hunting spirits, but we never say which kind. So, right? So, Stephen, two things. Obviously, the question, but you were joined by a guest there. You have your own little producer.
Aye.
Yes.
Who is that? We have to have introductions. There's a cat. We have to, guys.
We love cats.
That was
Who is it?
Oh.
Skittle. Like
I
the
love. Oh, I love. Mine are here somewhere sleeping. I think there's here somewhere sleeping.
All
Two.
5 of mine are upstairs, and I'm waiting for one of them to just pop in from the ceiling. It's weird.
Matt, I almost had 5 more kittens that I was going to keep. I had 2 litters to rehome. I kid you. I had 2 litter of kittens to rehome because I work in rescue. So the kittens are brought into me. So I do all the home checks and the paperwork and so on. Oh my God. I almost kept the black one. I almost kept the black and white one. I almost kept the ginger one with blue eyes.
You know, I see your pictures, and Mackenzie, the Wicked Queen, mistakenly looked over my shoulder and saw, and she goes, "Kitties?"
Yeah.
I went, "No, no kitties, no." All right, Stephen, what about you? What does Friends of the Other Side do? What do you guys do to relate?
Well, one thing that I didn't do at the beginning that I do now is try and find like the lingo, the words that they would have used back then. For instance, when I would have my spirit box out and I'd say, "Come to this contraption," or "Come to this device." You know, come to this device. If I'm in a 18th century castle, they have no idea what a device is. You know, so I have to say, "Come to this black box with the metal rod," or something. You know, so it's to be honest, it was my mother who actually was watching one of my things and phoned me up and was like, you know, "If there's any spirits there that are this, like, however old, they're not going to know what a device is. You're going to have to think about that." And I went,
True.
"You're absolutely right. I do have to think about that." And since then, obviously, I try not calling it a device. I try, you know, I try and find out what word would have been used for
Makes sense.
technological equipment or something. So.
Now, just oddly enough, do you guys feel, because we all know, you know, history pretty well, do you feel like that maybe they may not respond because they think it's witchcraft? Because remember, back in those days, you know, obviously high religion, stuff like that, and anything outside of the normality would be considered witchcraft. You think any of that may hinder your investigations?
The question, my suggestion, my thing there is, I would say there are spirits who don't know they're dead. Them, if they're just having a conversation. You know, they're not. They don't see themselves as coming across from the other side. They're just having a conversation with you.
Okay. All right.
But
go ahead, Jenny.
I can see why maybe some spirits would avoid coming through.
I just wondering about it.
Sorry, Matt.
No, go ahead.
I think what we do is we let them hear themselves, and we do a playback. So because we have some fantastic EVPs that we will say, "We heard you saying this," and we played it back so they can hear their own voice. So I was like, "This is you. We did hear you. You know, can we continue on this conversation?" And then when we say to them, "Can you speak into this device I have in my hand?" We just go hard. We say, "Can you speak into this recorder? You know what it does." There's the REM pod. There's the spirit box. We're going to use the spirit box and the headphones. So we just speak. Because we go to the same locations for many years. We kind of just put it to them like, "Now you should know what this is by now. We have showed you. This is a recorder. This is a REM pod. This is a spirit box." And then we leave the phone down in the kitchen on speaker with the recorder, and we say, "You know what to do. and then we go back upstairs and, you know, have a conversation with them. So would they think it was witchcraft or something like that? So new locations, I think, would. Location, like I know myself and Louis went to the castle for the first time ever, and I know other teams have been there, but it hasn't been for 4 or 5 years since teams have been there. And so we just go and we tell them what equipment we're using. So we explain ourselves, who we are, why we're there, what equipment we're using, and why we're using it. Explain what the equipment does. If you come near, it will make a sound. It won't hurt you. It's just to let us know that you're near us. This recorder is just to let us hear you. If you have any questions for us, or you need anything, we will hear you through this. So that's what we do.
You know, that's interesting because I know in a lot of places, like we just went to Penhurst, we do the same thing. We educate these spirits. We educate them on the equipment we're using, and it's cool to see that you guys pretty much do the same thing that we do here in the States as well. Like if we've got a new piece of equipment, you just educate them on how to use it. And that's really nice, Stephen. I really like how you say about using that different terminology. You know, you don't call it a device anymore. It's just a box. And, you know, that's really cool because like here in Gettysburg, for example, here in Pennsylvania, Gettysburg is obviously huge. They may know what a device is, but that's kind of iffy. I'm going to try that next time. I'm going to call it a box or a container or something along those lines. It's really cool. Really cool.
I think the other thing with spirits, when you're dealing, like Jenny's saying about going into a new location, I think a lot of it as well is building trust with the spirits. I don't think people realise that, you know, especially if spirits, you know, I would say a high percentage of the time when you're dealing with spirits going back, you know, they've had a quite a traumatic experience, you know, because of the sort of era that they were living in and things like that. And, you know, they've most probably passed on without trust, you know. So I think when you go in, it might not necessarily be like they're thinking about witchcraft. They just think they see a group of people they don't trust. And I think that's why sometimes new locations, we come out sometimes and think there's not a lot there. But I think you've got to go back and you got to build a bit, like with us, like when we first started talking, Matt or Jen, you know, it's like you're very cautious about the kind of things you're saying because you don't know people's personalities or maybe not Matt, but
I was neat. I was like, this is what you get. What you see is what you get.
Do you know what I mean? In general, you got to build that foundation. And I think that's what with the spirits, that, you know, they don't trust us, and especially if they don't understand that they're dead or they've passed on. You know, it's a lot for them to deal with, and then, you know, suddenly seeing, you know, all these devices, technology. It's like I think it was Steve that said it about educating them about what it is and finding that connection with the language and things like that. But I do think a lot of it's building the trust in the first place to get to that next stage for them to come forward.
That's it. I also think as well, if there had have been a team there before that was disrespectful, that use it, say something that some teams use, some don't, but some use it stupidly with the Ouija board, and maybe some locations that has before. I know maybe some locations have been investigated before, and they've had a bad experience with the people, the team. You're new. You got to introduce yourself, and just be like Nando says. What we all say is to be respectful, and we say no trail trace, as in when you leave the place how you find it. Don't be a arse by leaving your rubbish behind, things like that. Because it's their place, no matter what it looks like, if it's abandoned, if it's ruins, you still don't leave your rubbish behind. You just don't do it. It's somebody's home, somebody's workplace that used to be there.
100%. And
Sorry.
Go ahead, Liz. No, go ahead, Liz. Go ahead.
Well, I've always been respectful, because the way I see it is, I mean, I used to sit and talk to them anyway when I was in the Craig's Hill house. I didn't know who I was talking to. I always said, but I always did talk to them, load of rubbish, whatever, you know. And I mean, they came out. Some of them came out and everything. But anyway, but on the lives, I didn't do lives then. But on the lives, you've got you don't just go straight in. You go in with respect.
Yeah.
They were living at once. They were living at one time themselves. They were living before we were. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
always in my lives, we were always like that. We always gave them respect. It's always respect, because as I say, they were all living before us. Do you know what I mean? It would just be like you getting into a house and no giving people respect. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to respect the people that's no living, the spirits. You've got to respect them. Every time we go, we always respect them. Always.
Yeah.
Because
You know,
they've been living before us, you know.
Oh, 100%. And you know what's funny? And I know Jenny and Nando, you guys, I don't know if Steven or Liz, I know you caught a couple of them for Global Ghost Hunt. I have to say, for the May event, all the teams were very respectful and
Yeah.
really positive, and that was nice to see.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of spoke about language a little bit, and we're going to have some fun with this. So obviously, if you guys haven't heard, because you can't really see, but unless you're closed captioning, but obviously there's a little bit of some accents from our panel tonight. We've got some who are very thick accents, some who not so much, and then you get the dirty American. But hey, I'll bash on myself. I don't care. But anyway,
it's okay. You've got British blood somewhere.
I had lost it somewhere. I know I put it here somewhere. Anyway, it's in the mess. So the question is, have you guys ran into that? Like, what's the language barrier like? Have you gone into places that you would assume to be, say, British, but thick Scottish or French or whatever? Have you guys ran into that yet?
Yeah.
And how do you handle it?
I will say, and I'm going to say the Milmet Museum, it is our team's location. It used to be a British Army fort. So we would get British accents. When Oliver Cromwell came over and taken over and attacked Drogheda, and then it was turned into a British fort. The only place we've never investigated was out in the courtyard.
Okay.
All these years, we never did. Well, we did a few weeks ago. We had a fantastic team up with us from the south of Ireland. And he said, Jen, put the rampart out in the courtyard. There's nothing in the courtyard. And it went off. And I'm like, well, that hasn't happened. This is the first time that rampart went off, was in the courtyard. So that's where all the British soldiers would have stood. We would hear them saying, all right, governor. That's really bad English accent.
Let's hear it, Nando. I want to hear you say that. And then remind you, I can make merch out of it, so go for it.
I'm not British though, so
you're the closest one here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Yeah. I can't do it.
He's trying to take you from East London. He's like, all right, governor.
All right, governor.
There it is. There it is. And now it's recorded and it's here forever.
Oh,
beautiful. Stephen, what about you, brother? Have you ran into anything? Have you ran into any language barriers on your investigations?
Me, no. Not that I've come across. But I mean, most of the places that I have investigated, I suppose if we're investigating like a really old castle, Jacobite sort of era, I suppose Gaelic could possibly come into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. All right, so guys, it's about that time. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We got 2 videos to watch tonight, but don't go far because I saved one of my favorite questions for the absolute last. And obviously there's not going to be a lot of questions because I want to hear from everybody here. But this is one I've been really saving because I'm really fascinated about it. So guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these 2 very quick, I promise, quick videos. Told you they were quick. I want to give a couple of quick shout outs as well. I want to say, of course, thank you. We all know him, Mr. Brian John Laverty, Meester. I want to thank him for Parapost Network Central for everything where you'll see this and many other amazing shows, including 2 on the panel. Okay, 1 on the panel. Where did Nando go? We lost Nando. But you'll find a variety of amazing shows and podcasts on Parapost Network Central and Parapost International. You can go check that out. Links are in the description. And, of course, our Paralinks family, 1, 2, 3, and plus. Thank you guys for everything you guys do and supporting everybody. You'll find a lot of more amazing podcasts. You always got something to watch. And you'll always see Liz. In any podcast, you'll see Liz. Liz will be in the audience saying hi to everybody. I love Liz. And you guys just saw the video for the Global Ghost Hunt. Again, if you guys haven't already, sign up. Sign up today. You will not regret it. You are a team without a location or without a Nando. There he is.
Don't know what happened then.
We don't know either. You just disappeared.
I'm back.
But if you fell asleep.
Not this time.
If you're a team and you don't have a location, that's okay. Sign up. If you're a location, you don't have a team, that's still okay. Sign up. We'll do what we can to help you out. Guys, you seriously will not regret it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. It's a great time. So thank you to everybody, and we'll continue on. And Liz, I did not forget about the banjos. They will be coming on at the end of the show.
I know I was going to say that there. Good old banjo. I love the banjos.
I was actually, we were speaking to Nando earlier. I was telling Nando before the show on Portal. There's just a couple of the videos that I do that it just works. Like the soundtrack, you just sitting there just bouncing. It's like,
I know.
So for those of you just joining, welcome, and I'm sorry. I always have to apologize. But anyway, I'm joined tonight by my family from across the pond, and we're talking about some of the differences that they investigate and how they investigate and their styles and all that good stuff. And watch it. Go back, watch it. You should. It's great. Anyway, finally, a good show. Anyway, don't mind me, guys. I'm in a mood. So I do have another question, and I'll probably have another one because I don't script any of this. But this one I'm kind of interested in. We spoke about a lot of these historical locations, and I know Gettysburg because it's close to me. We actually have a lot of residual hauntings. We have a lot of soldiers that pass through Gettysburg. Whether it's intelligent or residual, it's they're so far away it's hard to tell. I want to hear about that. Do you guys have like residual situations? Not just people walking through walls, but do you have like battles? Like I'm talking like knights, like old school, really old school. Have you experienced that? Heard chainmail, anything along those lines in your outings?
I'm going to say yes again. Nando's heard this piece of audio.
Yeah, I'd say we have as well.
Yeah. It's like you know the piece of audio that I sent on to you, Nando, with the battlement.
Yeah.
The battle. Never got it again, but again from our museum, we left a recorder in at say 2:30 in the afternoon. We were coming in, doing some work, and leaving. So Alan has the key. Only 2 of us in the building. Left a recorder there and a REM pod there, fresh batteries overnight. We were doing a live as we were placing them down. And Alan went in the next day, listened to the audio, and said, "Jen, have a listen to this." And I've played this on many shows before. It is just the best residual audio I've ever heard. I've sent it off to a friend of mine in the UK. He, if he okays it, then it's creme de la creme. It's great. But yes, so yeah, that's one piece of fantastic residual. Only one that we've gotten from that piece of audio. Others we have gotten, it's the same man's voice, same whistle, same tune, and so on and so on. But the one of the battlement was a fantastic.
Stephen, what about you? What about you, brother? Any chainmail, any knights, anything like that?
Chainmail, no. I got what at Culloden Battlefield.
Okay.
I got what sounded like clanging swords.
Oh.
And there was an old World War II bunker. And upon listening to the audio back, I heard a noise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd heard it before, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
Mm.
And it was annoying me. So I just put it to the side. And about 3-4 days later, I was sitting watching a movie. And it was a film it was a war film. And in the film, the air raid siren went off. And I went, that's the noise.
You know, it's funny, Stephen, that you said about like an air raid, because I was on the USS North Carolina about a year and a half ago, and I was playing air raid sirens. I was playing, Navy anthems, like the theme song, and I was playing everything I could to try to stir up activity. That's cool, though, that you caught it. Nando, you said portals caught something?
Yeah, I would say one location that we do quite a lot is a place called Fort Woodley in Hampshire. And it was the forts were built to protect the water surrounding the Portsmouth area. And there's a number of different forts, but this particular one, you go down into the tunnels. You're literally walking the tunnel where the soldiers would have been pacing up and down. And you can sometimes hear like the marches of them marching through, so that we've picked that up. Other things with that is we believe the way they would communicate, so they didn't make a lot of noise, was whistling to each other. So we in the middle of this place, there's a massive spiral staircase. And me, Dan, and I think it was 2 other people, we were just sat there. And then we started hearing whistlings from each, like the different parts of the tunnels. Like they were communicating with each other, with us, literally just standing in the middle of this location. And we were hearing whistles from different locations. And the best one, it was like we heard a whistle from the upstairs, the spiral staircase, from like someone was stood on the top whistling down. So that was quite, the way we worked out, could they have been communicating? That's the way they were communicating with each other, to that they were still there or something. But yeah, that was quite cool.
That's interesting you say about the whistling, because in the Revolutionary War, that's the way a lot of the rebels communicated, was through whistling. You would whistle, and they turned that into mimicry of birds, like bird calling. That's what that turned into. So that's kind of cool. Cool.
It was cool. Yeah, definitely something that was, for me, like a lot of people know this about me, is that I'm still learning. I'm not like 10 years, 12 years into it. I only got in this because of Sarah. So when stuff like that goes down, I'm either, that's cool, and then I'm off. So I went somewhere with a bit of light and everything. So
I can't wait for you to get over here. You and I are gonna have some fun.
I still haven't got what I call my big boy pants on with the paranormal. I'm still in my training phase. I'm
take you right here. Take you right here. As soon as you get here, it's gonna be right from the plane right to Penhurst.
But no, that was some cool evidence. The only thing I don't know if you would class this as residual, but we did one location we knew no history about. I think I told Jen this about it afterwards, and we were doing a spirit box session, and we had a young female voice come through, very, very strong, like really wanting to make herself known, and she directed us to the outside of the location into like this wooded area, and it was like she was reliving what had happened to her, and we researched it, and it was a high profile case in the late 90s where she was actually murdered, sexually assaulted and murdered in this where she directed us to. And it was like she was reliving those moments and just trying to tell her story. And that was quite an amazing, situation to learn. Yeah, so that was quite cool. Well, I say cool, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was a good experience. It was a good experience.
You know, yeah. But
no, I understand.
That was a strong piece of evidence that we picked up in that. So that was a comment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Liz, what about you? Have you caught anything like really old? Have you heard chainmail, suit of armor, swords, anything along those lines?
Well, I don't know, right? But I was out. I've done this during the day at the backyard in my back, and now the fields over there. And I was just down in, and I heard two loud bangs. I says, "What the hell is this?" You know, it went once, then it just then for a wee while, and then it went again, and this was the start of the live. And then when I was explaining it to Donna, well, Donna heard them right enough, and Donna says that sounded like a gun. And I says, a gun? But nobody's got a gun in Scotland. She went, no, Liz. It could have been a war thing or something like that. See, but a lot of people says in these back bits and that, there's war. I mean, when Debbie and that came on, they said, was there a war going on or something, you know? Because we don't know, you know what I mean? We obviously don't know, but it was two big bangs. I don't know if that was the time the face came right through the camera, you know. I didn't know what it was. I just laughed. Donna says, "Did you see that face? Did you see that face?" And I just laughed. I went, "Oh, I don't know."
So this next question, well, the last question I have, because I can't think of any more, and I know it's getting late for you guys, and I again appreciate your time. It's actually going to be Jenny will understand. So Jenny goes to one of my favorite and top of my bucket list locations very frequently. I'm very jealous, and that is Leap Castle. And I know
I'm jealous myself.
That is like right on top of my list. It's just
we can put a group together and make it happen for 24.
I just keep circling it every time.
That'd be great. Right? That'd be great, Jenny. Because I know how to get to Ireland. I can get there.
Listen, my house is small. I mean, I've got a few dogs and a few cats, but I'll cram some of you in. And then we can have a road trip. It's about 2.5 hours away from me, so we can have a road trip. And then there's plenty of B&Bs and hotels I give some people. Whoever we can get do 2024 and kind of the middle or the end of late 2024 and kind of get it together for Leap Castle.
So you guys know giving me ideas is bad. Just gonna say that disclaimer. Idea bad. Anyway, on top of my
that'd be magic, Jenny. I would love that because I love Ireland. I love Ireland.
I love Scotland. My daughter's half Scottish. I love Scotland. So we can organize. We can make it work.
That'd be great.
The ideas. Anyway,
another one in the chapel.
I'll be right there with him. I'll be up there giggling. You're gonna hear him screaming and me giggling. The other one is obviously the Hellfire Club. That is one of my other top favorites. But what I want to know from you guys, and Brian, if this sounds familiar, but Brian always picks on us Americans for the top place, for where we want to go, our bucket list location, top of the list, because a lot of people say it's that's outside of America. Or it's in America. He's always picking on something. I want to know, I'm going to flip it. Where are your guys' top of the list, bucket list location, outside of where you're at? If you can travel.
Or outside the town?
Country. If you guys get off your island, and you can go anywhere, where are you going?
Oh, I have a few.
I've got a few myself in America.
If Gettysburg's on that list, you better hyphenate that.
Well,
consultant.
That's why I would
Raymond.
Gosh. Well, there's one of my top ones would be the Vatican.
Ooh.
I've always said that if I want to find out what those MFs are doing and what they're lying about, I am all about that. I want to know. I want to know.
You'll find out, and then you'll probably get quieted. I'll just put it that way. Oh, then you can come back and tell us.
Not 3 times, can you hear me? That'll be me. I want to know what's happening there. And I know it's a bit like, oh, Jennifer, don't say it. But I'm saying it. I'm the one who will say what probably shouldn't be said. I want the Vatican. Can we be honest? I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
Okay, so we're going to take a little tangent because that never happens on my show. I saw that, Nando.
What did I do? I need to.
No, my tangents. My tangent. I said about a tangent, Nando started smirking. Anyway.
Oh, God. I don't have
No. So here's my thing on religion. So if we really want to dig like a little bit into it, man has been created as flawed. Us as humans are flawed. We're egotistical. It's just in our nature. All of religious ruling, biblical, everything like that has been written physically by man.
Yes. I'm having a deja vu.
In my defense, I wouldn't call myself egotistical because if I would happily sit here and talk about my faults if I had any.
I'll talk about everybody else's. Get me on a rant. Go for it. We've all seen how well that works. Nando, what about you, brother? What's on your list? Where are you going? If Sarah lets you.
If Sarah lets you. My bucket list would be slightly different. I would want to investigate places like the Conjuring House, and not because of it being famous. I want to investigate it to see if it's as haunted as they portray. Yeah. I'll give an example. What we, over here, one of the most famous locations that has been on TV. Nick Groff did it as part of his paranormal lockdown. Was 30 East Drive in Pontefract. The Monk House. There was a movie about it. There's a TV show about it, and then you read people's findings. Oh, this is really haunted. And I think what got me was, I don't know if you've ever seen, like, Most Haunted was one of the big paranormal shows here in the UK. There's a scene where one of the guys is sat on the stairs and he claimed that he was dragged up, and you see him like suddenly, but in my opinion, you see him push his hand down to get himself up the bloody stairs, and there, is there something in that location? 100% there's something in that location, without a doubt. But is it as haunted as what people say it to be? Definitely not. 100% not. And I think that's why I would want to go to these sort of locations to see, is it as big as what they say it is? So that would be what I would like to do, is like things like the Conjuring House, and see what it really is like. Is it just the movies, or is there something real to be scared about?
Very nice. Stephen, what about you, brother? Where are you off to?
I personally, I think I would investigate the Colosseums in Greece and Rome.
Oh, that'd be...
Wow!
Never heard that.
That's amazing. Yeah, love that.
That's it. You know what? I've never even thought about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like the Colosseum where they fought and died.
Yeah. The gladiators, and that would be amazing.
That's amazing. Stephen, round that up. We'll all be going. We'll all be talking about it.
Oddly enough, the Wicked Queen actually got a chance to see the Colosseum. She's actually been to Rome. Oh, she said it was a blast. She loved it. She absolutely loved it. But her and I don't talk about that. That's the dark times. That was before we officially got together. So we just called it the dark times. Anyway, Liz, where are you going? And I know if you're going, the family is close behind. So where are you taking the family?
Well, where you said I like to go there. There is another place. I think it's in California. I don't know. It's called the Dam thing, Dam something. Something Dam. Anyway, it was. That really interests me, so it did. It's got water in it, and it's I think there's so many rooms that's got water in it, but you can't get out down the stairs or something. But it's got loads of rooms in it and different things, and it's a big, big, big place, you know. I need to get the name of it. It's something dam anyway, and I think it's in California.
Is it what is it? What location is it? Is it a river? Is it a hotel?
No, I'm not sure, but it's actually
I have one
called.
here,
It's
Oroville Dam, but that wouldn't be it. I'm just looking up dams.
what was that,
Dam,
Jen?
is it the Mulholland Dam? It's the Los Angeles Department. No, that's not it either. It's all about water.
No, I think it's in California.
Hi, I'm looking it up in California.
But I'm not sure what the actual full name of it is. It's something dam anyway, but it's fascinated me because it's got loads of rooms and different bits in it, and it's really, really big place. There's so much water come up or something that you can't get down the stairs to these other rooms or something.
That's what I'm looking up. It says give me water all the time, but it's not giving me like a hotel that was it flooded? It's not giving me anything like that. But I'm looking it up to see.
You're not talking about the Hoover Dam, are you?
No. Oh no, not me, Elizabeth. Sorry.
What? The Hoover? No, I don't think it's called that. I'm not sure.
Because the Hoover Dam is pretty infamous here in the States, and I do know it is haunted. They did have a couple of construction workers pass away during construction, but that's intriguing.
The water, there's a bridge thing, and the water, I think it's over the other side, the water, there's like a Native American that looks over at you, or some people have seen that or something. As I say, I'm not sure. I know it's something dam, but I wish I could get the name of it again.
We'll find it.
I'm sure it's in California.
There's one here. There's
Lake Mead.
This California Dam towers over is it the Hoover Dam meet the Oroville Dam? No,
It might be something like that. I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
We'll have to find out, and maybe I can help you do some research on it, Liz. If you find the name, I can help you with some research because I started my paranormal career in California, in San Diego, just south of Los Angeles. Here we go. Jason's saying there's a town under Lake Mead. That's also connects to the Hoover Dam.
It might be the Hoover Dam, right enough, but I'm not sure. But I know it's something dam anyway. I've seen investigators going to that place, quite a few of them, and I said I would love to go there, you know.
That's awesome.
I couldn't mind even know where it was. I know it was in America, but I couldn't mind where it was until I found out I think it's in California, you know.
Hi.
Yeah, if you come up with the name, Liz, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you come up with some information on it. So, well, anyway, guys, it's about 1 a.m., just after 1.
Just a question.
Nando,
have you considered changing your team name to Portal of the Paranormal?
Oh, Steve, that's a funny. I like that. Will Matt know why you said? Do you have Nando? Okay, so basically, there's a restaurant called Nando's for the chicken restaurant. So,
there's definitely Nando's in America.
Is there?
Well, we have Nando's, but not their people, not a.
It took me a minute or two to tap onto that.
So with the Nando's, the sauce is peri sauce.
Yeah,
new to me.
When I go to
there's Nando's up in the centre. There's Nando's up in the centre where we are. There's got Nando's here, and you've got Nando's. And I said, what on earth saw this, you know? I think too many shops.
See, Stephen, you got to remember where I'm from is literally like a hole. Like, it's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, we're part of America.
See, no, I'm, No, it's literally right in the middle of absolute nowhere. I'm 3.5 hours from everything.
Holy crap.
Yeah, except Gettysburg. That's about an hour drive, hour and a half.
Well, that's fun. Well, that
Yeah.
makes up for it. That makes up for it.
And you guys have heard about the that one town in Pennsylvania that is still on fire underneath, the whole ground's burning from coal fires. That's Centralia. It's about a half hour from me.
Holy mother!
Yeah, there's actually a movie about it. It's really cool. But anyway, guys, I really do appreciate you guys taking time tonight, this morning for you guys, to join me. And I'll tell you what, I love these shows because I learned something. I learned something tonight, and I really appreciate you guys hanging out. If you like, you're free to hang out backstage. But before you go, please go through and let everybody know where they can find each of you guys. Steven, starting with you, brother.
Stephen, founder of Friends of the Other Side, and you can find us on Facebook. Just look up Friends of the Other Side, and you can find us on YouTube under Paranormal Nights.
Very nice. Jenny?
I am Emerald Isle Paranormal Research on Facebook. Same name for YouTube, same name for TikTok, and I think same name for Twitter. Guess where I'm going to be everywhere. And what else do we have? Instagram. Shadow Whispers in the Night as well, podcast and Instagram. So on all of that. So I think Lou is watching. One of my right hand lady on my team. She goes, Jenny, did you get all the names? I'm like, I did. So that's what we're on: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and I'm sure we pop up somewhere else.
Nando, what about you, my brother?
Like everyone else, you can find Portal to the Paranormal on YouTube, Facebook. We're just under Portal to the Paranormal, TikTok. If you're on the go and you want to listen to some of our podcasts, we're on like Spotify, iTunes, and all that, so you can tune in and listen back to the great show that I had with Matt tonight, actually. So, but yeah, so you can find us on all that.
Yeah, I behaved myself tonight. I even told Nando, I was like, I behaved myself.
It was surprising to see a different side of Matt. It was cool.
And Liz, where can we find you and your lovely family at?
Just the Family Normal Paranormal on Facebook or on the group page, I don't know how to go onto YouTube anyway, or Instagram or anything like that. I have got Instagram and I've got YouTube, but I don't know how to get on it. I was trying to maybe do a live on it, but I don't know how you do it.
Don't feel bad, Liz. Like I told Nando today, I apparently have an Instagram. I have a TikTok. I don't know why. I barely use it. I just waste time on it. I've got it all over, and I just don't know.
Do you do live on TikTok, Matt? Do you do it live on TikTok?
I do, but they're really bad. I mean, worse than that. Worse than just me bantering.
You know what? I don't do. I did one TikTok live, but I don't do it. I've only ever done one. I don't know if I want to do more, because you'll get everybody on TikTok and you'll get the scragglers on, and I'm like, no, Jennifer. So I'd like to keep to the pages that are paranormal, that kind of get it. But I will in time. And she's back. He's back. But Liz, Louise, the fabulous lady on my team, she created the YouTube page and she does all of that work in it.
See, I went on TikTok. I've done about 2 or 3 lives on TikTok, and I ended up drooling on myself. So I was just like, yeah, I'm done. So anyways, thanks again, guys, everybody, for joining me tonight. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to hang out backstage while I wrap up, you're free to. If not, thank you again, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Well, that was a lot of fun. It was good. I really did learn something, and I got a lot of questions answered that I really wanted to get answered. And it's fun to see that no matter what time difference, like as far as the hauntings, whether it's like really old school or just a couple hundred years, you can still relate. And that's really cool to know. So, all right, guys. So that's going to do it for tonight. I have no idea what I'm doing next week, but I will let you know. Wednesday, something special will be going on. I'm not going to tell you what, because somebody is kind of nearby. You might hear. You'll find out. And then Thursday, I'm going to figure something out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but we'll have some fun with it either way. So, All right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Hope you all have a great rest of your week. Do not go anywhere because I'm going to be playing Liz's favorite, the banjo. Nice to see her backstage. Yep, we're playing the banjo for Fear Fest, and we'll wrap up with obviously the closing video. So y'all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. But as always, guys, you know the rest. Happy hauntings.